This video is a brief description and energy healing for the Mahamarmas. The Mahamarmas are energy centers in the body whose function is to support processing experience. We have three Mahamarmas, one in the head, one in the heart, and one in the gut. We process experience completely differently in these three areas. Everyone's pretty familiar with the way we process experience through the head area because the head processing is associated with the senses of perception. So the head is involved in processing experience from the immediate environment. The gut, or Basti Mahamarma, is very interesting because of the presence of the microbiome. The way we process information in the gut is like processing through like the eye of a fly or something. Have you ever seen those big close-up pictures of the eye of like a bee or a fly? They have many, many lenses. And the way we process information in the gut is like that, because each microbe, each bacteria in our gut is perceiving reality from its point of perspective. And each member of our microbiome community is providing their perspective to us through chemical communication. The gut bacteria communicate with us by producing neurochemicals, all the similar neurochemicals that our own body produces. So this is a language that our body speaks, is the language of biochemistry, essentially. And each microbe is communicating to us at any given moment its quality or level of experience of reality. Everything in creation is understanding the universe from their point of perspective. Everyone, everything, every gut bacteria receiving this information from the microbiome allows us as the indweller to appreciate reality from all these different perspectives simultaneously, and it provides the opportunity to recognize overarching patterns, which is something that we don't get as much from the head information. You notice I saved the heart for last. And the reason is because of the heart's position in the physiology, it also acts as an integrator between the head information and the gut information. The heart area, the heart Mahamarma, is designed principally to process feeling. It is the finest, most delicate level of our own experience of feeling, which acts as the glue that connects logically the type of experience that we process in our head with the type of experience that we process in the gut. In other words, what we have in common with everything else in creation is the ability to feel. Now I'm just going to take a moment and check in to Mahamarmas for everybody and making sure my own awareness is coming from that level of source within myself. I'm just innocently asking being, what can we do at this time to provide support to strengthen, integrate, nourish, and purify the Mahamarmas for everybody watching? Because as we open up these centers for processing experience, everyone will be able to experience life with more depth, and deeper levels of experience give rise to deeper expression of meaning. One of the first things I'm noticing is that the quality of energy in the Basti Mahamarma, the gut area, is very innocent. The way information is processed there is very sort of tender. It's very much in the now. And it's very innocent, like without judgments and assumptions and so forth. So this gut level of experiencing reality has a huge gift that it can give to the other Mahamarmas. So the first thing that's happening is opening up fine channels of communication between the head, heart, and gut areas of the physiology, and the ability to communicate between. In other words, more complete information being shared between those 3 points in the physiology. Good. The other thing I'm noticing is a flow of forgiveness and understanding from the heart, which is flowing to both the head and the gut area. And it's interesting that the heart is showing that it can do this, that it can divide its own flow of, or I'd say radiate, looks more like radiating that flow of understanding and, again, very non-judgmental. This is the heart's response. The heart's response is no judgment, just a flow of appreciation, gratitude, awareness flowing from the heart area, radiating out in a kind of a circle so that it radiates up into the head area and it radiates down into the Vasti Mahamarma area. And it's as if the head and the gut are being unconditionally loved like children. You know, each child in the family is a little different, and yet the parents love each one the same, or at least they don't love each one exactly the same, but they love each one infinitely. It's a different love for each person in our world, but it can still be infinite love in each direction. And it's nice because the infinite love has an integrating effect. It has a unifying effect on the head and the gut area. Another thing I see happening is an opening in the Ajna chakra, and an opening for the processing of experience, not just in the Ajna chakra. I'm seeing something shifting in the cerebellum as well. Cerebellum is in the back of the head, and its role is to filter information. But in this case, a shift in the filtering process so that the experiential perspective provided by the gut and the heart area is better received and accepted in the head. So the head is able to be each center. It's all interesting. The head thinks of itself as quite the processing center for the physiology, for experience, for everything. So some little shift right there in perception of self going on in the head area. But the best part is that openness and acceptance is connecting to energies in the throat as well. The throat provides, I wasn't really expecting this to come up in the healing, but thank goodness for you guys, it is. I mean, thank goodness that you exist, therefore it is for me. I get to experience it too. But the ability of the vocal mechanism and the connection between the prefrontal cortex and the speech center is that there's actually a whole area in the brain for speech. But this connection, what it does is it provides a means by which abstract experiences or experiences that tend to lie outside the range of one's radar or expectations of what we might or could experience, when we can vocalize them, when we can describe them, and even not speaking them out loud to other people, but just being able to think, what those experiences are, provides a platform for integrating the experiences. So there's a connection There's like a delicate, subtle connection. And I'm seeing the connection. It's like an energy flow, and it goes like this. And it goes from the back of the head where the cerebellum is. It goes down through the neck and throat, and then down into the heart area. So the heart is helping with this. In fact, I'm seeing a really nice integrated coordination between the value of truth that we experience through our hearts, which hearts don't lie. Hearts always tell the truth. So the heart, and also because the heart is integrating information from our immediate environment and then information, more universal or cosmic information that comes in through the processing in the gut. The heart is in an ideal position to provide perspective, very broad-ranging perspective on reality. And so that broad-ranging perspective is like it's moving back and forth through this open energy channel between the cerebellum, which is the filter for the brain, and the heart. There's also a filter for the gut. It's actually the renal system, because the gut bacteria sort the nutrients from the food so that some are kept and some are discarded. And the nutrient-rich blood that comes from the gut, from the intestines, go first to the liver, and the liver does a more detailed sorting and categorizing of information, of nutritional information, into 5 elements. And then from there, the blood, the nutrient-rich blood, which has been more carefully sorted, goes to the kidneys. And in the kidneys, the sorting comes down to a very fine level. They're very, very, very tiny, tiny tissues inside the kidneys that sort down to elements: potassium, magnesium, selenium, carbon. All the different elements are, it's the food, nutritional value of the food is broken down to such a fine level, like atoms, essentially. And the kidneys have to decide. They decide today, right now, do I need more potassium or do I not? It's not like, oh, every potassium molecule will be kept. It's like a very careful decision in the present moment of now needs to be made by the kidneys in order to effectively transfer the nutritional elements from the food that we need into the bloodstream, back into the bloodstream, so that they can be received by the cells in the body. But the kidneys, if you take a loop from the intestine up through the liver and then back into the kidneys, there's a filter in there. There's a filter that goes in stages. It's like a spectrum of filtration. And this spectrum of filtration is a larger, more elaborated expression of the way the intelligence of the human body filters experience and understanding. Then what goes on in the cerebellum is like a more shortened version of that. It's like a more detailed, like a sort of a smaller version of that. But they do reflect each other and they help each other. Because as the renal system and the way the nutrient-rich blood goes through its filters from the digestion through ventricle fluid and then back to the blood like that, as it does that, the result is nourishment. And guess who gets most of that nourishment? The brain gets most of it. So brain consumes about 20% of the nourishment that comes into the body is used by the brain. And oxygen, most of the oxygen, Lord, say the larger portion of the oxygen that comes in. Therefore, the sorting that takes place, the filtration that takes place, filtration of experience, affects the way the organs that filter the experience function. When the filtration process is going well, then all the organs responsible for filtering function at their optimal level. So it seems that this healing is actually healing for improving our ability to filter experience so that we're keeping what we really, really need. And the heart is the overseer that provides the pulse of that process. So the upgrade, the healing that's taking place right now in the heart Mahamarma area is one of maintaining a balance between individuality and universality, so that the information or the experience which is maintained and integrated provides maximum support for everyone who's watching this video, for everyone's ability to bring their own cosmic reality and individuality in alignment with each other. When these aspects of self come into alignment sufficiently, individuality is experienced as totality, and totality is experiences itself as individuality, multiple individuality. The transfer or download of information is coming directly to the heart at this point. And this download of information of how to support optimal balance in the physiology, in the renal system, in the nervous system, in the circulatory system, that balance is ultimately the responsibility of the heart, whose electromagnetic field is 60 times stronger than any other organ in the body. I should say is 60 times stronger than any other electromagnetic field produced by any other organ in the body, including the brain. So it is the way the heart beats which determines how the organs function. And the way the heart beats is based on how we feel emotionally, right? Because when we're scared, the heart beats like this. And when we're in love, the heart beats like this. And therefore, our ability to feel, like the emotions and feelings that we have, are directly influencing the way all the systems of the body function. So the last part of this healing is this download for the precise energy signature of the heart pattern, which provides optimal care, protection, adoration, and support for every organ of the body. Thanks for being with me.